From the mind of Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov.
So I know that some of you have been asking about the BaiFei Li mics. You're listening to the BaiFei Li C414 right now. And I know that there are a few others floating around, like the V10, which I don't have, but I do know someone who does. Jared over at the Microphone Assassin Discord server, aka the Microphone Assassin Afterparty. He goes by the name of Jar. And Jar got himself a V10. So check this out. So he made a recording here. Let me just play this. I'm going to play this in its entirety. This is done on a V10. Listen to this.
Let's get the disclaimers out the way first. I am sick again. I was fine for like 3 days. Damn it. And I'm not in the booth. And I have not listened to the mic yet. So this is all just what I'm hearing live. But physically, the microphone it's a little larger than I was expecting. A little bit, not much. A little bit longer than I was expecting. And the kit that it comes with is pretty good. I'm not going to do anything at all to this audio. I'll upload it completely. Well, hold on. For your benefit, I am going to, isotope mouth denoise, declick. But anything else, I'm not going to do anything to the microphone. So the microphone comes with the microphone itself. Obviously, it comes with. It comes with a shock mount. That's, it seems kind of nice. It does the job. It's a shock mount. It does the job. I will say I am hanging it sort of upside down at an angle. And I may just not have tightened it enough, but it seemed, yeah, that'll fix it. Yeah, never mind. I just didn't, it was a little bit offset. I just hadn't tightened it enough, so it wasn't seated properly, but I fixed it. It also comes with a Hakan-style pop filter, and it doesn't, I'm not super familiar with the Hakan pop filters myself. I've never used one, I've never owned one, but this feels like a lighter and more porous version of the pond popper stopper that I made. And yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it. I really am impressed with it, actually.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is you can hear, this is it. This is the V10 in Jared's space, not in a booth. And you can hear some noise there. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to play you. I have a version of this same file, but I just dropped it into Hush. So this is what this would sound like, okay? So let me find approximately where I left it off. All right, so this is what would sound like through Hush. All right, noise reduction, taking a little bit of the room out, deverbing the room, and noise reduction. Check this out.
It's actually quite hefty. This looks like some quality stuff. It's also got a fairly large a pop filter as well. And I'm not using it now. I'm trying my best to avoid plosives in my sick state without using it. But I'm going to go ahead and put it on. I'm doing all this raw, so sorry about the noise. Okay. It's a bit of a tight fit. That probably would have been uncomfortable, so I'll go ahead and actually chop that out. But yeah, this is what it sounds like with the pop filter on. It feels light. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's transparent. Speaking through anything is not transparent technically, but it's lightweight. It feels thin, but functional. So maybe it's workable. Maybe it doesn't take away too much of the high detail. So just talking like this for 2 minutes and 48 seconds now in my head. It sounds great. It sounds excellent. I haven't listened to it yet. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it, but it sounds detailed. It doesn't sound noisy, although there is some noise in here because I'm not in the booth. Although, if it is excellent, maybe I will just take it to the booth really quick and just do a test in there. Yeah, this sounds great. Best I can tell. I am about maybe 5-6 inches away from the mic. So if we get up on it, we can introduce a little bit of proximity effect. You know what? It doesn't sound overwhelming. Obviously I'll have to listen back, but it doesn't sound overwhelming. And if we go back off the mic just a little bit and we speak a little bit louder, that's not so bad either. It's always a little harder to tell, I think, from a distance. But yeah, we'll see. I'll go ahead and render this out and export it. And you guys, I apologize for being sick, but I hope you've enjoyed listening to it, and let me know what you think. I'm really excited. If this is good enough to leave on its own, I won't touch it. But if maybe there's some tonal changes that you guys notice, let me know. I would be very happy to mod this thing. All right, hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's all go take a listen.
All right, how cool is that, right? So through Hush, just outside of his booth, that actually sounds pretty good. So the V10 does sound pretty good on its own. I'm really excited. I have one coming. So I'm pretty excited about this. And what's really nice, I mean, this is a great looking microphone. And the kit that he's talking about is this. So you get like this, pop filter, you get the microphone, you get a shock mount. I mean, it's pretty good stuff. So let me just play you something else that he left. You know what? I also like that his username is Jar, implying that he's a vessel waiting to be filled up with knowledge, like a jar. Or maybe like a soup or something. Maybe he's waiting to be filled up with soup. So let me just show you this. This is actually really, really cool. So what he did was he recorded at the same time. You can see these are identical looking files. So these are the same take. And you can, hold on, let me drag this down so you can see these names better. So this is V10 versus 416. So this is the V10, right? So they're the same take recorded on two mics. So this is the V10, this is the 416. So let's take a listen. All right, this is the V10, obviously.
So, as expected, this microphone is a little bit noisier than, something like the 416, a more expensive mic, perhaps. But for $80?
All right, now let's listen to the 416.
So, as expected, this microphone is a little bit noisier than, something like the 416, a more expensive mic, perhaps. But for $80?
Okay, now you can definitely hear that the V10 is noisier. But again, let's try this through Hush. So what I did was I ran both of those files, again through Hush. So here, let me put them in the same order so that that's not going to mess up anybody's OCD too badly. All right, so here we go. Let me drag this down. Can you see that? All right, you see those names? All right, so here are both files again. I'm going to play them in their entirety now through Hush, okay, to kind of maybe see if we can level the playing field a little bit more. All right, check this out.
So, as expected, this microphone is a little bit noisier than, something like the 416, a more expensive mic, perhaps. But for $80? It's pretty exceptional. And the reason that I have it up against the 416 is because I don't think that I have anything else that sounds like it. It's a little bit V-shaped in nature, I think. And the only other thing that I think I have that's V-shaped is the 416 to some degree. So yeah, this is what it sounds like in the booth. I'm hoping that me being sick doesn't affect the comparison too much, but yeah, otherwise this is what it sounds like. It sounds great to me. I really love the sound. I'm going to listen back. I'm going to send you guys the file so that you can listen too. Yeah, let's see what we think.
All right, and now the 416.
So, as expected, this microphone is a little bit noisier than, something like the 416, a more expensive mic, perhaps. But for $80? It's pretty exceptional. And the reason that I have it up against the 416 is because I don't think that I have anything else that sounds like it. It's a little bit V-shaped in nature, I think. And the only other thing that I think I have that's V-shaped is the 416 to some degree. So yeah, this is what it sounds like in the booth. I'm hoping that me being sick doesn't affect the comparison too much, but yeah, otherwise this is what it sounds like. It sounds great to me. I really love the sound. I'm going to listen back. I'm going to send you guys the file so that you can listen too. Yeah, let's see what we think.
All right, so that's pretty crazy, right? So again, here is the V10.
And the reason that I have it up against the 416 is because I don't think that I have anything else that sounds like it. And the reason that I have it up against the 416 is because I don't think that I have anything else that sounds like it.
Okay.
It's a little bit V-shaped in nature, I think. And the only other thing that I think I have that's V-shaped is the 416 to some degree. It's a little bit V-shaped in nature, I think. And the only other thing that I think I have that's V-shaped is the 416 to some degree. So yeah, this is what it sounds like in the booth. I'm hoping that me being sick doesn't affect the comparison too much. But so yeah, this is what it sounds like in the booth. I'm hoping that me being sick doesn't affect the comparison too much.
All right. So that is crazy, right? I mean, crazy just seems to be a word that's getting thrown around a lot on this channel lately because there's a lot of stuff that is really just recalibrating the way I'm looking at microphones and gear and software. And wow. So yeah. So the BaiFei Li V10, right? Which here on this page you could see you can buy one for $81.40 US and shipped to you for $25.49. At least that's the price they're showing me. Your numbers may vary due to, I don't know, where you live and your exchange rate, etc. But for about $106, $107, I could get this delivered and I would have this mic. Right? And when you listen to it, right? So this $81 microphone, how it compares to the 416, $1,000 416. And all I did was run it through Hush. Now, obviously, the V10 track on its own, a lot more noisy. But noise is something that is not a deal breaker anymore when it comes to microphones because of the technology available today. Again, let me just play this for you one more time. So this is the V10.
So, as expected, this microphone is a little bit noisier than, something like the 416, a more expensive mic, perhaps. But, so, as expected, this microphone is a little bit noisier than, something like the 416, a more expensive mic, perhaps.
Wow. All right. And again, you're listening to me through the BaiFei Li C414. So I don't know what kind of magic or voodoo, what kind of mojo they have going on at BaiFei Li, but it seems like these microphones are definitely worth a consideration at this price point, and the V10 looks to be spectacular, at least the build. And the sound, well, just off of Jared's voice, I'm convinced. So what do you think? The V10. Thank you, Jared, for this comparison. And I know that you're sick, but sometimes when you're sick, you get like that little bit of extra growl in your voice. It sounds great. So I really appreciate you letting the nation hear this. And of course, this was all posted over the Discord server, aka the Microphone Assassin After Party. So if you want to talk about it, let's leave a comment or go over to Discord and talk about it. But what do you think of this? What do you think of the V10 versus the 416? I need to process this information. I am really just kind of like, it's like, wow. All right, you know what to do. Leave a comment. Till next time, this is Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov, fading to black.